What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I'll be going over my full card picks and predictions, along with the bets that I'm looking at so far for UFC 289 Oliveira. Wait, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. UFC 289 Nunes versus Aldana. Now, first things first, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, or if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I do these videos, when we do live streams, all that good stuff. And leave comments below, please, on your favorite fights, on your favorite bets, on your favorite picks, who you think is going to win. If you don't agree with any of my picks, totally cool. Leave it below. Why not? So last night was a good one, wasn't it? So let's get to that right away here. I can't wait to go over all of those fun fights that they put out for us. So let me get to that screen. Here we go. So, like I said, let's go over these real quick. On the night, I ended up going 7-6 on my picks. It should have been 8-5, but we will get there shortly. For my bets, I had 6 of them. I went 3-3, but I ended up losing minus 1.47 units. Would have been a winning night, but we will get to that shortly, like I said. So first fight of the night, Lins versus Grishin. I had a bet on Grishin, trusted my read. Not the greatest read, obviously, but it was a somewhat close fight. I didn't think Grishin would accept being pushed up against the cage for as long as he did. But if it would have been in the middle of the ring, I think Grishin would have had a better chance of winning. But good win for Lins. He did what he needed to do to win, and he has a little bit better cardio than I expected in this fight as well. So good win. Next fight is Blackshear versus Lacerda. Probably the weirdest fight IQ fight of the night from Lacerda. Just kept trying to go for knee bars, and eventually Blackshear's like, all right, I'm just going to ground and pound you out, which he did in the second round. So good win from him. I don't know about Lacerda anymore. That was just a weird fight. Maybe it was an off day. Maybe he was hurt in the first round. I don't know, but good win from Blackshear. Bad pick from me. Next one, we got Reed versus Fry. Fry looked good early. I thought she barely edged out the second round to maybe win that fight, but I'm not going to scream robbery on this fight. And Reed did what we thought she was going to do, just outstrike Frey. And Frey did what she needed to do to win, but she just didn't get the nod. Unfortunately, both of these fighters aren't the greatest. Maybe they should be both cut. They're not great, but this is what the UFC is going to give us. Crazy fight here. Imavov versus Malarkey. Malarkey was looking like a juggernaut until he wasn't, and he got rocked and he lost. I didn't put any money on this bet or this fight, but man, I feel sorry for all the Malarkey backers on this one. I mean, man, good win from Imavov. He was not looking great, though. I'll tell you that until he got that right hook to the knockout. So good win from him. Castaneda versus Gafarov. Fun fight. Very close. I would say Castaneda won that even without the point deduction that Gafarov did. But very close fight. I know a lot of people were on Gafarov. I was gonna bet Castaneda, but I just ended up going, not doing it. So I just stayed away here. But ended up getting that one right. Dontel Mays versus Andre Arlovsky. Like I said in my breakdowns, not to say that Mays is a world beater or a next champion or anything like that, but I just think it's time. It's Andre. Andre's 44 years old. He just doesn't. I just think it's time for him. That's all I'm gonna say. If Mays can knock you out with as slow and telegraphed as he is, not very good. Let's put it that way. It's time, Arlovsky. I'm a big fan though, but man, I was rooting for you. But do tail Mays. Santos versus Munoz Jr. Very weird fight from Munoz Jr. I don't know if he was hurt because of that low blow early in the first round, but Santos made it look easy, and Munoz did not do good. So I had Santos. I was very confident he would win, and he pretty much dominated that fight. Zaleski versus Nurmagomedov. I have no idea why this one went to split decision. I had Zaleski winning rounds 2 and 3 pretty clearly, outstriking him, stuffing the takedowns. Nurmagomedov didn't do anything. All he tried to do was get takedowns up against the cage, no damage, no control time, unless you're counting cage control time, which that shouldn't count at all because that's garbage. So I had Zaleski winning. I was gonna freaking riot though if Zaleski lost because there's no way. This shouldn't even went to split decision. The judges were crazy on this one. So good win from Zaleski. He's just more dangerous, more active, landed better shots. Green Silva versus Souza. Silva is a monster. I think she is top 10 potential, and she's going to be a problem. Real big problem. She's good everywhere. That's all I'm going to say. Good win from her. It was short and sweet. Unfortunate that Souza, that looked like a knee injury. So let's see if she has some layoff there. Tim Elliott versus Victor Altamirano. I was confident in Elliott. I was super confident after all the divorce stuff happened and he shared that information and he made it look easy. I know I tweeted out that I didn't understand how people were saying that Elliott's head isn't in the fight because he's tweeting out before the fight. We've seen fighters tweet out literally seconds before they walk out to the cage. I don't know how this is any different. And Tim was tweeting out like 6 to 8 hours before he even fought. So I don't know, man. Maybe people were trying to ramp up their Altamirano bets, but Tim Elliott was better everywhere this fight. So good win from Elliott. I'm glad he won. Yeah, I like it. Jim Miller versus Jesse Butler. Holy hell, Jim Miller, man. That's all I'm going to say, dude. Quick and easy. Has a right hand piston right down the middle. Boom, boom, done. Left hook, uppercut, done. Great win. He destroys prospects, newcomers. So whenever Miller is fighting a newcomer, you bet on Miller. Knockout. Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. Fun fight in the first round, especially. And then it looked like Pineda was gassed. And then Caceres just didn't do anything to get the finish. And it went to decision, which I have no idea how this fight went to decision. I had the under 2.5 in this fight, and I was pretty sure it was going to hit after the first round, and it didn't. So good win from Alex. He won the fight for sure. Pineda almost got him out of there in the first round with that arm bar, and just didn't happen. And even in the second round, he established control on top, and he was in good position for like 3 minutes, and he didn't do anything. Like he was just, I don't know if he was gassed enough and he just couldn't get a submission, but weird fight, but fun fight if you want to say. I don't know, just a weird fight for me, but good win from Alex. I still don't think he's that great, but he won. And Pineda maybe is just, I don't know. He's not that great either. And now the controversial decision of the night. Let me get a drink of water because this is going to be a long one. Albazi versus Kai Kara-France. Kai Kara-France won that fight. Kai Kara-France definitely won rounds 4 and 5. And Albazi won round 3. Rounds 1 and 2 were very close. But I had Kai Kara-France winning round 1. And if he didn't think he won round 1, then he won round 2. Like it was that close to the point where Kai Kara-France won one of those close rounds. Like it was crazy to me that you can give Albazi the 4th round. And I don't know which judge it was. I want to say it was Chris Lee, but I think I may be wrong with that one. Don't quote me on that. But one of the judges gave Albazi round 4. And that was Kai's clearest round of winning the whole fight. So how do you give Kai Kara-France Albazi round 4 when Kai outstruck him like 27-5 or 6, and Kai had the takedown too. So this isn't crazy to me. This was a clear decision, 48-47 Kai Kara-France, to the point where it was a bad decision. And I almost want to say the R word. It was a close fight, I will say, but the wrong guy won. And I broke this down. It went exactly how I thought it was going to. Albazi was going to look pretty decent in the beginning, maybe get a takedown. Kai was going to stuff most of the takedowns and outstrike him in the later rounds, and he did, and he should have won this fight. Um, I just don't see how he didn't, personally. And if Albazi gets a title shot after this fight, ridiculous. There's no way. He's not ready. I'm sorry. He didn't beat Kai, and he didn't look that great. I'll be honest. Kai looked better than Albazi. And though it was a close fight, like I said, but I think Kai got this one, and it was just the wrong call, wrong decision. And I think one of the judges messed up pretty bad in that fourth round. But it is what it is. We got to move on. These judges get away with it yet again. A lot of people lost some money, unfortunately, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. I guess we have to accept it because it just keeps happening every freaking week. But let's go to my bets real quick, and I will show you what I did here. Like I said, I had a bet on Kai Kara France, lost that one, which I shouldn't have. I just had a single bet on Tim Alia. It was parlayed with Garam. I won that. Max Grishin bet was a kind of a bad bet. I had the under 2.5, and that was unfortunately it didn't win that one. It should have, but it didn't. And the other two winning bets I had was the Silva Souza under 2.5, won that, and then I had the only parlay of card was Miller and Santos, and I won that. So, like I said, I end up losing minus 1.47 units. My biggest bet was the Caceres Pineda fight to go under. I had 2 units on that, so that's kind of what screwed me a little bit there. And then also the Kai Kara France bet. If that would have hit, I would have had a winning night, and it should have hit. Unfortunately, like I said, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And that's why we love MMA so much and keep coming back and losing money and betting and doing all this stuff. So let's refocus. It's a new week. I'm still a little salty, but it's a new week. Let's go to UFC 289. Nunes versus Aldana. Let's be real about this. Okay, so a lot of fights got withdrew or rescheduled. So there's only 11, which is weird for a pay-per-view, but it is what it is, and that's what we get. Let's go to the first one. Belbita, or Diana Belbita versus Maria Oliveira. Belbita is 14-7, 26 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach, and Oliveira is 13-6, 26 years old, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. Let me get my notes up because they are not. There we are. So Belbita is a solid technical striker. She's got okay grappling if it does get to the mat, but she likes to keep this fight on the feet. She's more so a striker. She's got good straights right down the middle, 1-2s, good jab. She throws good volume. Her striking isn't really quick, but like I said, she's very technical about it, and she's got good counters. And she can be hittable at times when she slows down a little bit as the fight goes on, but nothing too crazy. Oliveira is also a very solid striker herself. She got good power in those hands, a little more aggressive, likes to push forward. Her takedown defense isn't great, but I don't think she needs to worry too much about that. And like I said, I don't think she's as technical as Belbita is, but she does throw a lot of volume, and she does like to push a pace and push forward too. So this is a super close fight to start the night off, but I'm ever so slightly going to lean on the Oliveira side. I just think she's going to be able to land the more damaging shots. And as the fight goes on, Belbita does kind of not throw as much volume as she does early on. And Oliveira actually keeps her pace and maybe actually ramps up a little bit too. And I just like her. I just think she'll land the better shots, like I said, and outstrike Belbita in the long run. I do think this fight will go to decision. Both girls aren't really the greatest of finishers, and they're both pretty tough, and they'll stay in there. So maybe Belbita does work in a takedown here and there, but if not, I think this will be a super close fight. And give me the girl who lands a little bit harder, and I think her cardio will last all 3 rounds and volume too. So like I said, with my pick, going with Oliveira by decision. For any bets here, I like the over a lot. I'm not sure what the line is, obviously. I would stay away from the money lines. I don't trust the judges. Obviously, this is going to be a very close fight. But if I had to pick one, like I said, it would be Oliveira. But I'm staying away from the money lines. I'm just going to go with the over here. I'm going to look at what the line is. You might see a lot of over and unders for me in this card because I do not trust the judges yet again. Next fight we have is David Dvorak versus Steve Erceg or Erceg. Dvorak is 20-5. Out of here. 31 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach, and Erceg is 9-1, 27 years old, 5'9" with a 68.5-inch reach. So David Dvorak is a solid technical striker with good boxing. He's got good leg kicks as well. He does have good grappling and submissions, but he likes to keep it on the feet. He doesn't really shoot for takedowns too often unless he's in trouble. He can be a little low volume at times. He likes to wait for the counter shot, but he's very durable. He's got good cardio, and he's always a tough out. Erceg is making his UFC debut on short notice. He's a very good grappler with very good submissions. He's not the greatest of strikers, but he can hold his own on the feet. He definitely wants to get this fight to the mat. He can be hittable. His striking defense isn't that great from what I saw, but he's durable. And I don't think he's been finished in his career. Let me look real quick. No, he hasn't. He only lost by decision. So he's a durable guy as well. But the way I see it here is I think Dvorak is the pick. I think he's going to have the huge striking advantage. I think this fight will stay on the feet because Dvorak has pretty solid takedown defense. And even if this fight does get to the mat, Dvorak is good enough to where I think he'll be safe. He'll get the fight back up. And I don't think he's going to get submitted or anything crazy like that. So, does Erceg have a chance? Yeah, if he works his grappling and gets some control time, but I think that's how he's going to have to win, and that's pretty tough ask for someone as good as Dvorak is. So, with my pick, give me Dvorak. I'm going to say by decision, just outstrikes him on the feet, all that good stuff. I don't know what the line is. Well, actually, it says -175, so that's not up on my book yet. But if that's the case, I will take the money line. I do like that a lot. Maybe the over is another good look, depending on what the thing is, what the line is for that. But like I said, my bookie doesn't have this line up there for 175, and if it does come up at 175, I'm going to take that and put it in a parlay. Next one we got is going to be Blake Bilder versus Kyle Nelson. Bilder is 8-0-1, 32 years old, 5'8" with a 68.5-inch reach. And Nelson is 13-5-1, 32 years old, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. So Bilder, solid grappling with good takedowns. He likes to push forward. There was a lot of volume on the feet. He definitely wants to get this fight to the mat, but if he can't, then he's a pretty solid striker. Solid cardio. He's very durable, but he can be hittable on the feet too. He doesn't really have the greatest striking defense. He keeps his head on the. He doesn't really put his hands up too well to block punches. He mainly blocks it with his face, but he's durable and tough. Nelson is pretty solid, okay everywhere. If you want to say good, okay striking with some power in his hands. He's got okay wrestling and grappling. Cardio and durability is pretty good too. Takedown defense is okay. He just doesn't really do anything that amazes you or wows you, but he's not terrible anywhere either. But on the feet, though, against pretty technical, pretty good strikers, if you want to say he is hittable. But this is an interesting fight because both guys are kind of the same. They're both solid everywhere, but nothing really amazing. But I'm gonna give Bilder the slight edge here. I do like his grappling better. And on the feet, I do think it's going to be close, but give me Bilder to win. I just think he gets it done with that wrestling and grappling. I think eventually, maybe not in the first round, but maybe second and third rounds, he can get the wrestling and grappling going and wear down on Nelson a little bit and just win it that way with control time and ground and pound. And I think it goes to decision. Both guys are tough and durable, like I said. So with the bets though, if you want to look at Bilder at -200, it's not too bad for our parlay. Maybe look at the over. I do think this fight goes to decision. Both guys aren't the greatest of finishers. I know Bilder has a lot of finishes, but they're all against regional guys. And if he couldn't finish Shane Young, then there you go. That's all I gotta say about that. So I do think Bilder wins by decision. Next one we got is going to be Zahabi versus Aoriqileng. Zahabi is 9-2, 35 years old, 5'8", with a 68-inch reach. And Aoriqileng is 24-9, 29 years old, 5'7". We'll just say 69-inch reach with him. So Zahabi is a well-rounded fighter with solid striking and grappling. He's one of those guys where he's pretty good everywhere. He doesn't do anything super amazing. He does like to keep the fight on the feet more so than not, though. But like I said, he does have wrestling and grappling in his back pocket. He has takedown defense is pretty good as well. He's pretty durable, and he's got good cardio as well. I mean, his last fight, he did beat Ricky Turcios in that weirdest fight ever, when Turcios literally had a striking accuracy of probably like 5%, if everybody remembers that one. Aori is a very good striker, though, with good boxing. He's got good power in those hands. He likes to push forward and throw tons of volume. He can grapple, but he's not the greatest at it, let's be honest. But he does like to keep it on the feet. He doesn't want to make this a grappling fight. His takedown defense isn't that great, which is something that might point out, or where something that Zahabi may expose in this fight if nothing's going good on the feet for him. And that's something to look at. And it's an interesting fight. I kind of went back and forth, though. Ultimately, I think I'm going to roll the dice on Aori. I like his striking a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more dangerous. Also, Zahabi, to me, I think he's a little low volume at times. And he likes to wait for counters, and he likes to stay at range. But when Aori is going to be pushing forward and be a little bit more aggressive on the feet, I don't know what Zahabi is going to do. Maybe he does shoot for those takedowns, and that's going to be a different story. But I do like Aori to win this one. I think it's going to be close, though. I just favor Aori's aggressive style, pushing forward on the feet more. And I think this will go to decision, though. And both guys are tough, like I said, and durable. And bets wise, I think I'm going to stay away, though. This is too close for even an over under or a money line, even though it's close to a pick 'em. But I mean, maybe dog or pass. But I do like Aori striking just a touch more, and I think he gets it done. Very close decision, though. Interesting fight here again. It's going to be Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Miranda Maverick. Jasmine is 8-2, 34 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach. And Maverick is 11-4, 25 years old, 5'3", with a 65.5-inch reach. So Jasmine's a solid, very good wrestler with pretty decent takedowns. She likes to get her takedowns up against the cage, though, and more so like with trips, not just like with double legs or single legs. Very good grappler. She's got good top control when she is on top. She likes to push forward and go for those takedowns. Her striking isn't amazing. She's got very slow strikes, if you want to say, very telegraphed. She does have a little bit of power in those hands, but nothing amazing on the feet. She definitely wants to get this fight to the mat. That's her bread and butter. She's very durable, though. She can take a lot of punches, and she's very strong in the clinch when she does get her hands on her opponents. Maverick is very well-rounded fighter. She's got solid striking with some power in those hands. Good wrestling and grappling herself. Submissions, pretty decent, too. Takedown defense is a little suspect at times, but she's strong, too, and she's very durable. And so for this fight, before I tell you who I like here, I think the betting line is a little off. I think it's a little wide. I don't 100% trust Maverick at minus 300 because there is a path to victory for Jasmine to win this fight, and that's getting this fight to the mat. And if Maverick had better takedown defense, I would feel more comfortable, and maybe even throwing Maverick in a parlay. But I'm going to stay away from that. But anyways, the pick is going to be Maverick. I just think she's the better overall fighter. Maverick is going to have to keep this fight on the feet, though, and not get taken down. Otherwise, it's going to be a close fight. Not to say that Maverick doesn't know what she's doing on the mat, but Jasmine's really big for the division. She's going to have a 4-inch height advantage, almost a 2.5-inch reach advantage. And I just think she's going to be the bigger fighter here. So Maverick's going to need to use her speed on the feet, outstrike her, and which she can do because Jasmine is hittable on the feet, and just piece her up and maybe get a takedown herself. Jasmine doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. So maybe if Jasmine's coming in hot, maybe she can get a takedown and get some control time that way too. So the pick is I'm sorry. The pick is Maverick by decision. Bets. I like the over here. Both girls are very durable and tough. But I wouldn't blame anybody throwing a little sprinkle bet on Jasmine at plus 240 or even 250. I think it is not a bad play, but I do like the over a lot. So that's I'm going to look at that. That's something I'm targeting for a bet. Next one, another fun fight here is going to be Nasruddin Imavov versus Chris Curtis. Imavov is 12-4, 27 years old, 6'3", 75-inch reach. Chris Curtis is 30-10, 35 years old, 5'10", with a 75.5-inch reach. So Imavov is a well-rounded fighter. He's got solid striking with good power, good takedowns, good wrestling and grappling when he's on top, but he's been more so a striker lately. The only knock on him that is his cardio. We've seen it in his last couple fights. He slows down after the first round, and by the third round, he's like, I don't want to say surviving, but he's very low volume. He loses all of his steam in the first round, and I don't know if that's because he's going for the finishes early, if he's just not pacing himself correctly, but that's something to think about here, and he can be hittable as well when he does slow down. Chris Curtis, we all know him. He's a very solid striker, good boxing. He's got good power in those hands, very good counters. He's got excellent takedown defense, and he can be hittable a little bit, but he always has his arms up in the high guard like this to cover up anything crazy. He's got good body shots that I really, really like from him. It always pays dividends every time he goes to the body in the later rounds. And like I said, he has a good counter KO power, if you want to say. But in this fight, man, I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I've been going with Chris Curtis maybe a little bit too much, but I'm just not impressed with Imavov. I thought he was going to be like the next prospect up and coming guy, and he still could be. He's still young. He's 27 years old. But I just think Chris Curtis, this is a tough matchup for Imavov, especially because Chris Curtis has very good takedown defense. And I think if Imavov could take this fight to the mat, he would have a better shot of winning. But if this is going to be a straight striking fight, I think Chris Curtis is going to eventually be able to land the knockout shot in the third round when Imavov gasses. Imavov might win the first round, which he more than likely will, because Chris Curtis likes to maybe, what am I trying to say? He likes to get the reads from his opponents in the first round and pretty much just stay covered and, in guard most of the first round. But after that, he starts to open up, works the body a lot, gets those counters going. And also, too, his gym buddy, Sean Strickland, just beat Imavov. So there's going to be a good game plan from Chris Curtis here. I like Chris Curtis to win as an underdog. I do think he's going to get that third round knockout. I'm going to say it right now. Why not? Bets, I think this is dog or pass. I think it's going to be Chris Curtis or just pass. I just don't trust Imavov enough to win. And I'd rather trust Chris Curtis and what we've seen from the last couple of fights in Imavov. I like Chris Curtis in this spot. I'll probably stay away, though. I don't trust him that much, but over-unders, I can see it go either way, too. I don't think Chris Curtis will get knocked out. I'll tell you that. If anyone's going to get finished, it's going to be Imavov. So if you don't think Imavov will get finished, over is your play in this fight. Next one here, the main card, we got Eryk Anders versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Anders is 15-7, 36 years old, 6'1", with a 75-inch reach. And Barriault is 15-6, 33 years old, 6'1", with a 74-inch reach. So Anders is a well-rounded fighter. Okay striking, not really technical. He's very wild and crazy, but he's got tons of power in those hands if he lands. But pretty decent wrestling, good takedowns. He can be hittable at times on the feet. He can slow down as the fight goes on as well. But he's very dangerous early, and like I said, his striking isn't that technical. So he's not really the greatest stand-up guy, if you want to say. Barriault is also very well-rounded, very good boxing. I would say he's definitely more technical than Anders. Good wrestling, good takedowns. He's very durable, good cardio. He likes to push a pace on his opponents and kind of break them, hence power bar. is his nickname. He can get rocked though if he's a little too aggressive or if he starts to slow down, which I've only seen him slow down once, and I think that was against it was against Anthony Hernandez, who also likes to push a pace on his opponents. We've seen that numerous times. So I like Barriault in this fight a lot, actually. I think he's the better overall fighter. He just needs to worry about that power shot that Anders likes to throw every now and then on the feet. I do think Barriault will be able to push a pace on Anders and slow him down after the first round. And I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a late finish here, but I'm going to say Barriault by decision. I think the pressure, pace, and cardio is going to do it to Anders here. So bets, I like the money line for Barriault. I think that's pretty solid at minus 140. It's about where only thing I would look at here. So I don't know if it's going to be a decision or maybe a late Barriault finish if Anders just gasses a little bit too much, but he is durable. So I'm going to look just the money lines here, I think is the way to go. Next fight, we have Dan Ige versus Nate the Train. 16-6 Ige is. He is 31 years old, 5'7", 71-inch reach. Nate the Train, 17-4, 35 years old, 5'9", with a 70.5-inch reach. So Ige is a very good striker, very good leg kicks. He's got decent power in those hands. He's got good boxing, very crisp on the feet, if you want to say. He does have pretty decent grappling, but he's going to keep the fight on the feet. His takedowns are okay as well, and he's durable. And he's fought some really good competition. Those 3 losses were against Mavzar, Josh Emmett, and Korean Zombie. So very good competition, but very good fighter. Nate the Train is also a good fighter as well. He's very well rounded. He's got good power in those hands. He can be a little wild at times. He does like to push forward. I don't know if lately he hasn't been getting in too many brawls like he used to back in the day, but he has shown off some of his grappling and submission skills lately, which is always fun to see. He can be a little hittable on the feet against technical strikers, which Ige is a technical striker. But this is going to be a very fun fight. I really love Nate the Train. Who doesn't? And it sucks to do this to him because I just think Ige is going to win this fight. I think he's going to be the better striker on the feet. He's more technical. He's going to be able to land those jabs, those 1-2s down the middle. And I think Nate the Train's going to have to shoot for some takedowns and switch it up because he can't keep this fight on the feet. But he's always going to be in the fight. He's going to fight for your money if you're going to bet on him at plus, I think it's plus 200 range now. It's higher than that. Not a bad dog to back, especially because it's Nate the Train. But I do think Ige is going to win a decision here. Just the better striker. His takedown defense is pretty decent. He can get up. Grappling's good. I think he'll be safe. So Ige by decision. Bets Ige money line in a parlay is not bad. Over. And if you like dogs, and Nate the Train's a dog for you at over plus 200 right now, I think. So not a bad spot there. Next one we got is going to be Mike Malott versus Adam Fugitt. Malott is 9-1-1, 31 years old, 6'1", 73-inch reach, and Fugitt is 9-3, 34 years old, 6'1", with a 77-inch reach. So Malott is a solid striker with good counters. He's got good hooks, very powerful hooks, though. Very good grappling and submissions. We've seen that in a couple of his fights. He's durable. Duke, I don't want to say he has questionable cardio, but I do question it. A lot of his fights haven't gone to decision. And but I don't want to say he has bad cardio. I think he's pretty decent, but decent cardio. So I don't want to put that on him, but I do want to see him go to decision once at least. Adam Fugitt, also a very solid grappler and striker himself. Pretty good wrestling and takedowns. On the feet, though, he does have power in the hands, but I wouldn't say he's the most technical of guys. He can be hittable on the feet, but he's very durable. Decent cardio as well. And this is going to be a very fun fight. And I kind of went back and forth a little bit, but I'm just going to go with Malott here. I do like what he brings to the table, if you want to say a little bit more. So I like him a little bit better on the feet. I think he's got the quicker strikes, quicker hands. He's got that counter left hook with pretty decent power. And if Fugitt does try to go for takedowns, I don't know if that's going to be a great idea because Malott is a very good grappler with very good submissions, especially off his back. And not to say that Fugitt's bad on the mat, but I don't know. So this is going to be a weird fight. I don't know how it's going to play out, which is what's kind of worrisome. But like I said, give me Malott. I'm going to say he gets a finish, maybe like a club and sub in the second or third round. If I had to guess, though, I do think this fight will play out mainly on the feet, just because I think the grappling will be able to cancel out from one another, and I ever so slightly favor Malott striking a little bit more. Both guys are dangerous. Bets, though, maybe look at the under. Both guys are finishers, and they can get a finish. And if not, stay away. I don't trust the money lines for either one unless you like the dog. Obviously, you're gonna get more value, but that's where I see with this one. This is going to be a interesting fight. Not really too sure on it, but give me Malott. All right, guys, we got the main event. Co-main event. I'm sorry. Charles, my guy, do Bronx Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. Oliveira is 33-9, 33 years old, 5'11", 74-inch reach, and Dariush is 22-4-1. 34 years old, 5'11", or I'm sorry, 5'10", with a 72-inch reach. So we all know that Charles Oliveira is my guy. He's my favorite fighter in the UFC. But I'm going to break this down. I'm going to give you two separate breakdowns. Let's go through it. He's an amazing grappler with amazing submissions. He's a very good striker with good power. He's very good in the clinch. He uses his knees and elbows to perfection. He loves to push forward. The only knock on him, I will admit, is sometimes when he comes forward and he gets a little too aggressive, he can be hittable. And striking defense needs a little bit of work if he can keep those arms up. But other than that, he's dangerous in every second of this fight. Dariush is a very solid fighter, very well-rounded. He's very good everywhere. Good wrestling, grappling, striking, decent power, good cardio, good takedown defense. He's just good everywhere. Like, he's a very solid fighter. But he can be pushed back a little bit if somebody wants to push forward, which Oliveira does. And he can be a touch hittable, but he's durable. We've seen him get knocked out a couple times. It was a while ago. It was against, I believe it was Alex Hernandez, then Barboza. So he's had a really solid win streak. Gamrot was a good win from him. He's got some solid wins under belt. But I will give you my biased pick and prediction. Oliveira wins this one by knockout. I think that's the way he's going to be able to get the finish. I could see him maybe get a decision, but I do think Oliveira gets that knockout as my biased prediction. Now, I'm going to go with my real prediction now. I'm going to try to do this for real. So here we go. This is going to be a very fun fight. Get that out of the way. Very close. But I got to go with Oliveira here. I'm going to be honest. Beneil is very good. Like I said, don't get me wrong. And I think he could win this fight. But he needs to stay safe on the feet for 3 rounds and possibly win a decision, because I don't think he's going to be able to submit or knock out Oliveira. I just don't see it. I think he's going to have to win all 3 rounds, or 2 of the 3 rounds to win. And I think Oliveira is the better striker for sure on the feet. I think the grappling is going to cancel each other out. I would give Dariush the wrestling advantage, but does he really want to get this fight to the mat? I don't know. Maybe if Oliveira in the first round just pieces him up and then maybe he decides he needs to go to the mat, that'll be interesting. But I think Oliveira's game plan is going to be keep this fight on the feet, push forward, pretty much do what Oliveira does. I don't think he's going to initiate any wrestling or grappling unless the opportunity presents itself, kind of like in the Gaethje fight, where maybe he knocked him down or he's able to take the back, something along those lines. But I see this fight playing out mainly on the feet, unless Dariush is just getting has no answer on the feet, then he's going to probably go for some wrestling. But even then, pretty dicey for Dariush to do. But with my pick, I'm going to say Oliveira wins this one by knockout. I think this is the way he wins this fight. He could win a decision, Oliveira, but I'm going to say knockout. Let's fucking go, Oliveira. Sorry. Now, all the Benil Dariush fans, sorry, but do Bronx Day. He's winning this fight. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Tell me in the comments below if you don't believe me. We'll see. Let's move on to the next one, which should be the co-main event, which is not. Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Nunes is 22-5, 35 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Aldana, 14-6, 35 years old, 5'9", 68.5-inch reach. They're pretty close. Nunes is a very good striker with a lot of power. Good grappling and submissions, but she likes to keep it on the feet as much as possible. Good takedowns, good wrestling. She's good everywhere. Maybe as the fight goes on, she slows down a bit, but nothing too crazy. She's durable. I know in the one fight she lost recently, she gassed herself out in the first round, and Pena was able to jump on her back and, get the submission win or whatever. But she clearly showed you in the last fight that she's way better than that. Aldana is a very good striker herself. She's got very good boxing. She's got pretty decent power in her hands. She's solid takedown defense. She can be hittable, but she throws a lot of volume. She stays in her opponent's faces, and she's there. I mean, she'll make it a brawl if she needs to, but she's solid. So I think Aldana has a shot to win this one. Do I think she wins this one though? No, I do not think she'll win this fight. I just think Nunes is too good everywhere. I think she's gonna be the better striker with way more power. She'll land the better shots. I think she's gonna have the better wrestling and grappling if she gets in trouble or if she wants to mix up anything. I just think the best way for Nunes to win this fight though is to mix in some takedowns, keep Aldana guessing. Don't make this just a boxing fight because that's what's good Aldana wants. And what scares me and the biggest red flag from Aldana is how she looked against Macy Chiasson. And I don't want to say that liver up kick was lucky, but that liver up kick was lucky. And Macy could have won that fight if that didn't happen. So if she's looking like that against Macy, that's all I got to say. Nunes should win this fight. This is a big step up in competition from Macy Chiasson, Yana Santos, Holly Holm, Catlin, our friend from the show, Vieira, and Vanessa Mello. This is a huge step up for Aldana. So give me Nunes to win. I'm going to say by decision. Aldana's tough. I think she'll keep staying there. But it wouldn't shock me if maybe this fight gets to the mat and Nunes works her grappling and gets like an arm bar or something crazy like that, or a rear naked choke. Bets though, I think Nunes is safe for a parlay piece. The line is going down. It's closer to minus 300 now. I would watch the line. I think if it drops below 300 or maybe closer to 250, I might jump on that as a parlay piece. I like the over. It's probably going to be set at 4.5. If it's set at 3.5, I like the over even more. But yeah, that's what I got for that one. And that about does it for UFC 289 Oliveira versus Nunes versus Aldana. Thank you everybody for watching. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed these breakdowns, or if you are new to the channel and just want to hang out and listen to some breakdowns and live streams, all that good stuff. Leave some comments below of your favorite picks and your bets. Thursday, obviously, me and Cody from Blood Money MMA Bets are going to have our live show. I think it'll be on his channel this week, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm trying to think if I got anything else for you guys. I think that's about it. So, all righty, guys. Until next time, go Oliveira and happy fight night.